Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I am talking about Project Hail Mary, which has easily been one of my most anticipated movies in a long time. Before I continue, be sure to hit the subscribe button and give the video a like. It's a great help to the channel. So just to give a little bit of context for this review, this is one of the rare times where I have actually read the book before seeing the film. Around the time of last year's CinemaCon, I had never heard of this book nor the upcoming film at all. But some of the movie YouTubers I follow were covering the news about stuff at CinemaCon and noted that Project Hail Mary was the best presentation in their opinion, so I immediately gained some interest. I immediately added this film to my watch list, and around when the first trailer released, I decided to bite the bullet and I bought the book. I absolutely adored the book. I read it faster than I usually read novels, and I waited months in anxiety to see what could be a really special movie. Thankfully, I was correct, and my anticipation was well worth it because Project Hail Mary is an absolute masterpiece of a film, in my opinion at least. It manages to feel like it effortlessly adapts the book into a wildly entertaining and moving sci-fi spectacle. Drew Goddard, who also wrote the screenplay for The Martian, which was another Andy Weir novel, manages to perfectly capture the spirit of this story, as well as Lord and Miller giving some absolutely top-notch direction. I legitimately could not be happier with this film. It's everything you want in this kind of story. And I might have some minor nitpicks about how fast it goes through some of the more intense scientific explanations of stuff that's in the story, and there's one scene I hoped would be in the film that ultimately wasn't, but that doesn't affect how I feel about the movie at all. Just in general, the story of Project Hail Mary is irresistible as a piece of entertainment, whether it be the movie or the novel. It has apocalyptic stakes and drama, but is equally fun and thrilling. But even with a strong core and strong premise, without strong acting, directing, or writing, it could still fall on its face. Thankfully, this film nails just about everything you want this kind of science fiction story to be. It is relentlessly entertaining. I could have honestly watched another 30 minutes of this film and been more than happy. I sincerely hope there's an extended cut on the home versions of this film, just like how The Martian had an extended version. This is the kind of movie that makes your heart swell with emotion, but makes you laugh just as hard. It's the kind of movie that will have you sitting at the edge of your seat with thrills, and also sitting in the back of your seat with sheer awe and wonder. I couldn't have asked for a better movie. Ryan Gosling is at the top of his game here. Ryland Grace, as a character, is a very funny and inspiring character, but there's also a real sense that he feels like an outcast and struggles with loneliness, and Gosling manages to nail both aspects of this character. Maybe it's just because I read the book after knowing that Gosling would be playing Grace, but when I was reading the book, all I could picture was Gosling as the character, and I feel like the film really delivers on that. And while I wish there were maybe a few more scenes with Ava Stratt, Sandra Hüller brings a subtle sternness and gravitas to the character that is very necessary. I'm happy to see this actress in such a high-profile film, especially after how much I loved Anatomy of a Fall from a few years ago. But the big standout of the film is obviously Rocky. This freaking movie made me cry over a rock puppet who speaks with musical notes. I don't want to say too much about Rocky simply to avoid any major spoilers, but without nailing Rocky, Project Hail Mary does not work. And Lord and Miller simply didn't just do Rocky justice, but they hit the ball out of the park. It is fantastic.
There's no way you can hear me right now.
Can hear. Who are you talking to?
You can hear this.
Yes, Grace say you can hear this.
What about this?
Yes.
Oh my god. Look at this. Look how far away he is.
That is where he is.
Hello, Grace.
Grace and Rocky's friendship and dynamic is the backbone that makes Project Hail Mary such a masterpiece of both a film and a book, and makes it such an emotionally resonant story. Of course, I can't talk about this film without mentioning Greg Fraser's stunning cinematography. I'm sad to hear that he didn't do Dune Part 3 and won't be returning for the Batman 2, but I am glad to see him do something very special with this film. Every scene in space is stunning, and the use of the expanded aspect ratio is used brilliantly. I saw this film in IMAX, and I highly recommend you all see it that way. And I love that the scenes on Earth are filmed very differently. They're filmed in a more standard aspect ratio and have very clearly different color grades, which makes the scenes feel like they're more of a distant memory. And don't quote me here, but I believe that was the specific intent from Fraser and the directors. I can't remember where I read that, unfortunately. There are two giant sequences that were just utterly jaw-dropping to witness on a massive IMAX screen. Like, think Interstellar No Time for Caution docking scene level stunning. Project Hail Mary is also a film that is basically perfectly paced. There is not a single second wasted, and there is not a moment that feels too slow. While I do wish there were some more in-depth explanations of the scientific talk throughout, that is ultimately just me being a massive nerd and liking science. I completely understand just going straight to the basics for general moviegoers. And like I said a little earlier, really my only critique is less about the film itself and more about just wanting more. When a movie is so good that the biggest thing I can complain about is that I wish it were longer, that's when you know the film is excellent. I can't praise Project Hail Mary enough. It's the kind of movie that reminds us why we love movies. It's a rousing, wildly entertaining crowd pleaser that will make you laugh, it'll make you cry, it'll make you sit at the edge of your seat with thrills, and you'll walk out feeling a sense of wonder and hope that you maybe haven't felt in a while, especially with all of the events currently going on around the world. At least that's how I felt. This year will be a truly special year for film if there's even one movie that lives up to Project Hail Mary, and I have a feeling there's gonna be a few, especially with The Odyssey and Dune Part 3 coming out. That'll do it for this review. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like, as it is a great help to the channel. Also feel free to check out my Letterboxd account. I'm pretty active over there. Okay, bye.
If it is to be said, so it is.